Hello, folks. Welcome back to GTA 5 Online. I'm Brian Harrison with Harrison Alta Gaming, and welcome back. We're just doing another little video. Thought it would be fun to just, I guess, do the helicopter tours. But before we get started, please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and leave a like on the video, and hit the bell notification if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Rumble, please don't forget to follow us. Hit the like and comment section, and thank you very much. Yes, we are here at the helicopter tours, and it is time to fly another group C. Maybe we get different sites. Maybe we get going. Let's get into this building, and it is kind of cool to own this business. By the way, it's I love it. So this is gonna be a second tour, as we're getting in launched into the building. This is how we get in and do it. And yes, the heat's up. I've been doing other businesses to earn money quicker, mainly running my weed and all that. Maybe I'll do a delivery for that. We'll see. We'll see what's up today. Um, or eventually. Oh, let's get going. Let's get started on this helicopter tour. Deal. He'll probably call us. Yep, here he is.
Alright, game face. I know being a tour guide doesn't give you the rush you're used to, but we gotta keep up the act. So get out there and show those suckers a good time, huh?
And yep, we're off and we're ready. And here's our helicopter. And it's kind of here, let me get in. Let me get in, and so I can feel like I got a picture of it with me here. There you go. There's our helicopter. And yeah, oh, there you go. There's our helicopter. And we're ready. It's going to be our second tour. So let's get in and let's get going. We got to get a picture for this because I like pictures within the game, or unless I have other ways too, but picture within the game what I'm doing is kind of nice to do so. And we're off. It will get this one ride will get our heat down. I hadn't touched it because I will be honest, as we're flying and we could fly and talk, and that's a great way of doing it. I think GTA is running into a problem, and it's been a problem. I think it's been a problem for a lot of people who play the game regularly, which I tend to. This is one of my most favorite games I tend to play. Red Dead Redemption was becoming a close second, and of course Minecraft was almost pretty much number one because I get to build, and I enjoy building cool buildings like coliseums and things like that. I kind of do actually have a miniature coliseum in a way, or fighting arena in my world right now. And there's playlists of all the games I've played lately, or it's kind of nice. But talking about the businesses, you're going to run into a problem where you have a staff and they should be able to run the business, but you're running a problem where you're dealing with, if you run all the businesses, you run into problems. You're running around with your head cut off, and you're going to have some fail and some succeed, or you just don't run others. But right now I'm running them because when I get the stuff done, I do actually make pretty good money doing it. So, let's see, where do we want to go first to? Oh, let's go over this way. We might as well. But yeah, you run into problem like this. This I could do. This is fun. But there should have been a way, and I'm afraid if they add more businesses this winter, and I don't know if they will. It looks like it could be mansions. Who knows? But let's say it's businesses. They're running into an ever-growing problem. The problem is you literally physically can't run more businesses. You just can't. If you had a staff and you worked towards running those businesses, and where the staff takes care of them, maybe buy into another office building, or you add to an office building, whatever will work. Here, let's actually get to the right area. Okay. You are running into a problem. And that's the whole problem. Is that you're running in to the fact that it takes a lot to, now when you had a few businesses, no, but what I didn't even run most of. I just ran like the nightclub, the motorcycle club, and I made okay money. It wasn't too bad. But then I spent a lot of money lately, so it's kind of like I want to get up for the new update. So now I'm back running those businesses, and you're just, you got the car business you got to deal with to get cars. You got several of those businesses. It's just there needs to be a more central area. Even if you just delivered goods to a central area and you filled up a bigger area, I'd have more respect for it than having to run around to all these 100 different businesses. And it's just, that's my opinion. And who knows? But I still think they need to fix their overall business thing. And you let some go. Like this one, I didn't let go at first. I was running it. It's new, of course. I'm going to play it more, but it just you gotta. I let this one go. So Rich is great. Makes a little video, helicopter tours, nice, right? But it's just it's kind of sad. I feel like GTA is going to become a point where, and this is why people like me, I'm not too fond of restarting over GTA 6. I really am not. Some people has several theories why they delayed it. I think it's becoming more true that they're becoming more greedy, and so if they delay it, they think they'll make more money off of it. But you notice they also lost a lot of stock. That's what people are noticing, because I don't think there's faith in it. There are people who are probably smart pulled out early. The people who are left behind probably won't. I've been off this airfield. See that airfield? I didn't even know it was really an airfield until I did a mission, and I was like, oh, it's a small, it's really a small dirt runway. There's no buildings there. There's no indication. I mean, that would be a cool place to put a mansion, actually, or a nice place, and you just kind of make it so you can fly small aircraft in and stuff like that. And you have your little house, right? So, anyway, that would be kind of cool. But it's just okay. Let's go over here. So this one's over here. Okay, let's go over here. But yeah, it's sad, I guess. I just don't know what to say. I spent those who actually play the game, who've built up stuff. I've spent several, and I think a lot of people aren't going to be able to get shark cards this time around. Be honest, there's a lot of jobs being lost. There's a lot of things going on, and you don't need to be reminded of it. But there's a lot of stuff going on. Uh, I can't say, but I have a bad feeling, even if it is an okay game, that it won't do well as they want it to, because they are having unrealistic expectations. They just think that they'll make like basically they think they'll make like several billions of dollars in one day. I mean, that's how out of touch they are in reality, and that and eventually people just kind of wake up and go, "You're nuts." We don't have it. They just want this untold money that we can't give them, and just to play a game, just because of some. And that's why I have a problem with investors and stuff like that. Because I'll be honest, I know of someone who's invested, and half of these people don't even know what they're invested in. Half of them don't even. They just see money, and that's all they see. And it's so sad when that's all you see, and then when money becomes so unbalanced, and then they wonder why their favorite restaurant's shutting down because no one has money to run that. It's just like they see this money and they just want infinite money, and I don't know what the point is for some people who just see money, 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 and not see what can be built, and it takes time, and it's almost like you're better successful when it takes you time, I guess, not when you get instant gratification type thing. You gotta wait which is it's not a bad thing. You learn patience if you learn to wait and learn to build onto something. And GTA is also running into a problem. They're not going to be able to convince people to buy GTA 7, even if they finally do convince it, because they're barely going to be able. I think they're going to lose a lot of player base over GTA 6. I really do. If they gain it back, great. But I think because of not all of it, just because of how they're acting and how the price of the game is not going to be cheap. But let's move forward a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Not just the price of the game, but the way they're acting, and their players have been asking for stuff for years. Like I'll give you an instance. Mansions have been asked for years. The High Club has been asked about for years, and GTA has never really responded in a fair and honest way to anybody. They just don't care, and they never have really. I've had a friend who's written them letters, who's complained about issues, and they just seem to just be like, whatever. And it's sad when you get to a company. It's almost like it's like there's something different in people. It's like you met someone who's nice, and I've seen this. You met some, you used to be friend with someone, and all of a sudden they get into any type of money, and all of a sudden that's out the window. It's almost like the friends who did stick, it's almost like you have friends who did stick by them. Okay, here we go. Who they change. Their demeanor change, or they get in a better position, and they were a great person without that position, but now they're different. I have a woman who has a sort of a ex-friend that's like that, that changed in not a good way. It acts like even though they don't get paid much more than my woman gets paid, they act like because the position they're in, then they actually have say or something, or any little bit of say, they're like a totally different person. They're not the same person anymore, and it's just kind of sad. And that's why I feel like a lot of these game companies become beloved, and a lot of the people, when the original people started leaving, a lot of the original people GTA 5 have left. Look at, we finished. And GTA 5 technically back in the day, from what I understood, was supposed to be the last entry. And I think the idea was that it was the last entry, but they would keep updating the online. They would add new maps. They would add, they would add stuff, right? And that has changed, you know. And I think GTA is running into a problem. Oh, there's a quad over there that is running into a problem. Here, we'll sit over here and talk. GTA is running into a problem where eventually, let's say they sell GTA 6. Okay, great. They could do okay, but they won't do it forever. And I think the other reason why they won't do as good is money. People are gonna people are people could just go home. They already own GTA 5. They'll just keep playing that, and and that's the problem that these companies don't understand is people are bowing out. There are people going to Steam. I have a friend that's going to Steam. Um, my friend knows coworkers that are on Steam who used to play on some of the consoles and stuff. I'm playing on console right now. I have it also on Steam. I can go over to Steam. I don't know within a year. I've made this maybe my last year. Going into next year where I may not be able to record, and I've said that. I even said that another time. So it's kind of a sad situation that these gaming companies, all they see is money, and there are people who back them up and say it's okay to just have this untold money, like just give me money. And the problem is there comes a point where even with the person, it's like you hand someone a dollar and they're never satisfied, and so you keep handing them money, 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 and it's never. You could give some of these people and even these corporations all the money in the world, and they'll still try to find money. It's just like it's a never-ending. But yet, and that's happening with other companies. We had, in our town, we had Subway closed down, and Subway's closing down. They've closed 2 locations already, and people are saying, someone who has a daughter who works for Subway is saying their prices are getting out of control. They just think that they can just do whatever they want, and people are just going to bite it. Like you're going to give us the money, and it's not happening. Um, there's even our store. What we've noticed, our fast food places used to stay open until like midnight. Some of them do, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them that tried that are staying open 24/7, at least with the drive-through. They're shutting down at either midnight or before. They'll shut down like 9 or 8, 10 o'clock, because it's in their mind it's too complicated to keep more stuff open. So, you know, they cut back employees' hours because the company, even though it's not actually suffering because they pay their CEO more than they should, um, it's just like it's this untold. These companies are in this idea of self-destruction and not caring about the people involved, and like we've had to make serious cutbacks ourselves, which is fine. I mean, we weren't doing a ton anyway, but we've made cutbacks ourselves. And so when you think of that in the world, but what does it mean to GTA? I don't know what the future means. I think they could keep going this game, and they could have just added another city. They were at one time. There was a talk about like Liberty City, and that's been kind of a sore subject. And a group did it and got in trouble with Rockstar. And it's funny, they didn't get in trouble because they took money from Rockstar or anything like that. They got in trouble because they showed Rockstar that it could be done, and Rockstar was lying. And see, and that's what bothers me about companies. They can get away with their lies and cover ups and stuff like that, and take away enjoyment from people and stuff because of the dollar, the almighty dollar that will probably actually fail them this time. Eventually, it fails you. You know, like greed begets more greed, begets more greed, but greed. The universe has a way of responding. Like I learned this rule: those who have the guns make the rules, but what they forget is who has the ultimate guns. The universe, or I call it God. People will call it karma. Always wins, no matter what. Even with greed and stuff, it doesn't have. It's not respecter of any person. You do end up getting what you deserve in the end. It's just how it works. It's and that's why we every time we think we can escape it, we don't. But anyway, I'm sorry for talking this long, but it's so cool to run these. It's so cool to have a game like this open world. I guess I'm just passionate in a way about that. I'm tired that everything you do seems to be someone wants to screw you over, um, and you can't just enjoy. Which I do. I enjoy what I can, but you just can't enjoy the games, the same games like you used to, without companies wanting total control over you because because somehow you're evil to them, or you're just an ends to a means to an end, which I think a lot of companies treat you. You know, people have those type of family members that always seem to ask for money, or always seem to do things they shouldn't be doing, but and I wonder why no one likes them in the end, and they walk away. But it's all it's just it's sad. It's sad. This I can see. Look at this. Look at this city. Before we go, look at I'm in a helicopter tours. It's kind of a nice area. Look at all this. Look at this city. You can't tell me that within GTA 5 there can't be more. And they have added more, and they've proven to be liars and stuff like that. Even with vehicles, they claim they took vehicles away. I remember that because they needed to add more to make more room, but they took those same vehicles, added them back, and made it so you had to be a GTA Plus member. So it's that crummy, it's that garbage that people stop believing in what companies say. And there are people who are really good. The game development is not a mystery anymore. There are a lot of people who are able to do it. Look at all these indie games are showing that they could make potato games on potato computers and actually make them fun. And people are proving the gaming industry wrong. But look, it can be done, and there are people proving this wrong. There's even servers on. If you check them out, there's servers even on this that you'll see people talk about GTA, and they're driving really nice cars and stuff. They have taken the GTA 5 game itself, and you have to have the PC version of the game, but you can get onto these other servers and stuff and play with more stuff, have jobs, and like they could do that. And they started adding some of that in this game. They're like, not just the bank deliveries and the taxi. It's all because of those servers. So they can do it, and that's what's sad. And maybe if GTA succeeds, great, but I hope that people get smart enough, if it doesn't succeed, to wake up and realize that there needs to come a point where it just becomes a game we play, permanently. No, like RuneScape, there's games like that that have managed to keep going forever and ever, and they don't keep updating, have these weird, stupid updates that completely start the game all over again and ruin your progress and everything. And sad. That's sad that game companies can mess with you and demand more and more money, and then you put all this money into it to play a game, and then and then they put a new game and they say this game's not useful anymore. They either end it and then tell you give us more money. Eventually, it's going to end. I want a game I could buy. Like that's why I like the old games. And if I have to go back and play some of these older games, I'm not afraid. I have plenty of them. Xbox 360, PS3. I'll play Xbox One games even if I don't have my Xbox Live. I'll play some of those games, story modes, stuff like that. But it's just kind of sad that live in a world where they demand so much money. Medical has gone through the roof for those. I know people who are in medical debt, and they'll never. It's just there has to be a change, and I don't know what the answers are. I think we do know It's whether we want to actually make a change or not. And we need to do that with everything in gaming and stuff. We need to stop allowing these companies to make us agree that everything they do is right, and everything they when they're not. They're saying it's in our best interest when it's not. I'm a little concerned about GTA 6. I'll be honest at this moment. I am. But look at the beautiful. Okay. Anyway, we looked at the beauty of the city, and even though I think they could do more, and then they may be forced to do more. Money is people are losing jobs. It's not a game anymore. It's not. There are people literally in fear who are just so afraid, and some of these people even have money that I've noticed, and I'll talk more. I hear from other people we know and stuff. So a lot of them aren't foregoing buying movies and foregoing buying stuff, not because they don't want to, but just because they don't know when they're being cut. They don't know when a company they worked for years is saying they can't run anymore. It's we aren't doing better. We're actually doing worse. But in all that, we can have fun and playing games. But I that's why I want to be positive and play games as much as possible. But I also recognize reality is that what does that look like? That may look like for me in the future of this channel or anybody who does stuff like that. If we have to, we may go back to some of the older games to just to play and have enjoyment again. And that may bring a new era. It could bring new things too. Where a new gaming companies arise, where those who have failed us were once stood, and new gaming companies rise and hopefully bring back something that will improve, and they'll learn from it and see the failure of other gaming companies that got too greedy and got too you know crazy, and then others step in and take their place. And it's about time. Maybe it is about time. But until then, I mean, we'll enjoy this game. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video, wherever that may be. Thank you so much for listening to me, even after the helicopter tours. It didn't take very long to do that, but we lowered the businesses, and so now I guess we could do stuff with it. Anyway, um, until next time, guys. I hope we can keep positive through all this and maybe find ways to still enjoy what we love if you're a gamer, and maybe fight. Also, don't be afraid to stand up and fight for our way. This is our some of us. This is our way of life. Me, because I'm on disability, this is my way of life. This is my way of being in a world. That's why I love this game so much, because I could fly helicopters, do all this I can't do in real life, and so I do enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoy, you know, playing the game, and I hope you enjoy my videos. But anyway, in the meantime, I want to say God bless you. Till next time, bye for now.